Not so young Oji here with another video, and today we will be talking about the Bose QuietComfort headphones. So this is the Bose QuietComfort 45. It's been around for a couple of years now. So this was actually released in 2023, and I've had this for almost a year now. I actually got this as a graduation gift from my cousin last December. So shout out to my cousin. This is the Bose QuietComfort, as you do know. So this is it's more of an expensive headphone, right? It's currently about $350, and I think that has been the same price since it was launched, right? And yeah, I would definitely going to jump into this long-term review. So over the course of this video, I would definitely be going over, for example, like the design and comfort, sound quality, connectivity and features, as well as its battery life. And then like once I just wrap those things up, I'll definitely go into the pros and cons also. Without further ado, let's jump into the video. Let's start with the design and comfort, right? So the Bose QuietComfort has a metallic build. So it combines metal and leather, right? So it has this really nice feel. It's nice to touch. It looks great. And it's actually resistant to scratches, honestly, like except like you're literally like rubbing this against like walls and stuff like that. Like it actually holds up pretty well. Like I said, I've had this for about a year now. More, it's more like 10 months because I got it last December and this is October, right? So yeah, honestly, I've had like no complaints when it comes to the build quality of these headphones. Like it's, it has a metallic build like I mentioned, and then it has like soft cushion ear cups that is built with leather, and this actually like feels really nice, and you can actually wear this for hours and not even have to worry about the weight. So it's not heavy, even though it's a metallic build, like it's not too heavy, and it also has like adjustable arms that you can extend. For example, like if you have a larger head. One advice I give, it's like if you actually want it to feel more comfortable, like you can actually extend the arms, so like that gives it like more room to breathe. But honestly, like I do wear this for hours and hours, like at work, even when I'm at home, and I have no complaints when it comes to wearing this for long hours. Right, and then yeah, also when it comes to the design, so we're just gonna talk about like the buttons and ports real quick. So on the right side, you do have the volume up and volume down. You have the power switch is more like a slide. So you basically slide it like one time to the right and that turns it on. And then if you slide and hold, that is going to like put the Bluetooth in pairing mode. So let's say you want to connect a new device or pair it to a new device, you're gonna be able to do that after you like slide and hold it. And right, so so volume up, volume down on the right side, and then you also have the middle button, which is like for play and pause, and also to peak and end calls. And right on that right side, we also have a LED indicator. So that indicator is going to turn red while it's charging, and of course when it's 100% battery, that's going to turn white. It also stays like a solid white while it's currently connected to a device. And on that right side at the bottom, you have the Type-C charger. So I mean, Type-C is definitely great. Again, this is a device that was released in 2023, right? So I think having Type-C would definitely be expected for a device that was released in 2023. And of course, it's not just a Type-C for any reason, right? It also delivers fast charging. That's about it when it comes to the right side. And you actually do get this lettering inside the ear cups that can easily help you tell where the right ear should be and what the left should be. All right, so moving on to the left, we have like just one button, and like this is more of the action button, right? So pressing this button one time would switch the modes, and by that I mean, for example, like switch between transparency mode to like noise cancelling. And if you actually set up other modes, for example like outdoor mode, which is like the mode that is best when you're outdoors, like the name suggests, and that is actually the mode or the only mode that would cancel wind noise. So for some reason, this has microphones that let in wind noise by default, and you actually have to manually turn on the outdoor mode in the mobile app to be able to get access to that mode, which was definitely my experience. And I honestly did not know that until I was just playing around in the app, right? So that's definitely something for you to take note of if you actually decide to get this device, or maybe you actually bought it already and you're trying to figure out like one or two things about this device. So again, on the right side, like that's the action button. So it switches transparency modes. If you actually press and hold it, it's gonna tell you what the battery level is. So it's just gonna tell you something like, the current battery is like 70%, whatever it is, right? And if you double tap this while you're on a call, or even if you're not on a call, it actually mutes the microphone on the headphones itself. So you don't necessarily have to mute on your mobile device. Like let's say you're connected to a phone or even a laptop, so you can actually mute on the headphone itself, which is a great addition in my opinion. And so on both ear cups at the outside, or on the outside, you also get this Bose lettering on both, and you also have a very, very symmetric design when it comes to the microphones, right? So you have this kind of like mesh like dots. So basically like two arcs of dots on both sides, or two sets of two arcs on both sides. So that's kind of like what it looks like. And then so it could literally like rotate, like each ear cup can rotate along the Z axis. X. Yeah. So I'm along the X axis, sorry. So each ear cup can rotate along the X axis, and it also has the ability to fold in. So it doesn't matter which one you want to fold in first. Like you could fold in the left in first or the right, and then you can have it more in like a handy package. Like you can hold it like this. Let's say you're actually not trying to wear it for a little bit. And again, when it comes to design, at the top, so you also get this kind of like thick leather cushion that sits right at the top of your head, so that makes it easy on your head as well. So honestly, I think that's pretty much it when it comes to design and comfort. And so at this point, I'll definitely want to get into the sound quality. So this is around the ear headphones, right? So it's not over the ears, so it goes around the ears, and that makes it definitely like much more comfortable. Like I said earlier, like I'm able to wear this for long sessions without even having to think about, do I have something on my head? And the sound quality is actually really good. Of course, you're going to get that top-notch sound quality. Again, this is a $350 device, so that is kind of like an expectation at this point. Not it shouldn't be surprising. And also it has great bass. I mean, I find myself putting the volume at about maybe 70% of what my phone would go to for me to actually like really enjoy the music. Aside from the regular sound settings, you also have this EQ adjustment feature in the mobile app. So if you didn't know, the Bose headphones, or Bose, they do have a mobile app where you can connect different types of Bose devices. And so when it comes to sound quality, honestly, like I haven't tried a lot of headphones, but still, like this is a great pair of headphones. Like the sound is actually really good. Like it's definitely much more better than what you get from in-ear earbuds, just in case you were wondering. All right, so now let's talk about its connectivity. Primarily, this headphones connects to mobile devices through Bluetooth, right? And it also has a multi-point connection, which means it can connect to multiple devices through Bluetooth at the same time. So for example, you can have this connected to your phone and your laptop at the same time, and so it actually saves, or it sticks to the device that started playing media first, and then it keeps playing media from that device until, so let's say you're playing media from a phone and then you start playing media on your laptop. It's going to keep playing media from your phone until you pause that media. Let's say you're listening to like a song. That's only when it would actually like switch to the music or to the audio from your laptop, which is the second device in this case. However, the only time that is not the case is when a call comes in. So when a call comes in from any of those two devices that are currently actively connected, it switches automatically to the phone that is receiving that phone call. So phone calls take priority over regular audio. Honestly, that's pretty much when it comes to connectivity. And like when it comes to features, we definitely already talked about the features, for example, like the transparency mode. And right, so also with connectivity, right, so it also has on the left side, I actually missed this earlier, so it has this audio jack. So this is actually, it looks like a 3.5 millimeter jack, which is what I thought it was at first, until I tried to put a 3.5 millimeter jack and it actually did not go in. So I did some research and then I figured out this is actually a 2.5 millimeter jack. So if you actually want to connect this to your laptop, you'd have to get a special cable that has 2.5 millimeter connector on one end and then 3.5 on the other end. Yeah, so honestly, yeah, there's not a lot to talk about when it comes to the connectivity. It has what you would want, right? So now let's talk about the battery life. So Bose claims these headphones, or Bose claims the QuietComfort can go up to 24 hours on a single charge, and like I mentioned earlier, with 15 minutes of charge you can get up to 3 hours of usage on just 15 minutes of charge, which is definitely has to be with a fast charger. And in my experience, I actually found that this lives up to that claim. Like, I've had these headphones and I've been using it a lot, and like honestly, I've used these headphones for like 4-5 days without having to charge it, and I'm telling you, I do use it a lot. Yeah, so this is definitely a headphone that wouldn't have you worrying about battery life in any way. Now we've talked about all the major features and things that actually matter when it comes to the Bose QuietComfort. I just want to highlight like the pros and cons of this device, so that could definitely help you a little bit better if you're trying to make a decision about buying these headphones. So when it comes to pros, let's start with pros, right? So one is fast charging. Again, has a Type-C connector, fast charging with 15 minutes, you can get up to 3 hours of battery life. Two, battery life, that leads me to battery life. This is great, like you can go for days. I'm talking 4, 5, 6 days, depending on how much hours you actually spend using this each day, right? And then three, it is actually light and comfortable, and you can wear it for long, and Bose actually did not have to sacrifice on build quality to make that happen, which is nice. And four is multiple device connection. So like I said earlier, like this can connect to multiple devices at the same time. It's kind of a bummer that it doesn't do more than 2 devices, but if you don't have a lot of devices, I'm sure you wouldn't even have to worry about that. That's as much as I can highlight when it comes to the pros. So now let's go to the cons. So when it comes to this device, one big con is like it's actually bad for outdoor calls, and I'm talking about like those calls that you're having, just taking a stroll on the walkway in your street, or you're actually walking around campus and you're just trying to talk to a friend before you reach where you're actually going to, before you're going to a class or something. So by that, like, it actually doesn't have its own native or hardware based like background noise cancelling, and I've often had people complain about the sound quality, about the wind noise when I'm actually like walking outdoors. So I think Bose could have definitely done a little bit better when it comes to actually implementing like hardware based background noise cancellation. Well, I mean, it could be done with software only as well, but yeah, when it comes to outdoor calls, it is terrible. All right, so one thing I don't like about the headphones, in my personal experience here, is it actually pauses media when you're switching from, for example, let's say you're switching between the ANC modes, like active noise cancelling or transparency. So it pauses what you're listening to, whether it's listening to a song or you're watching a YouTube video, right? So it pauses what you're watching, and then it takes to you like, oh, transparency mode, outdoor, quiet. Like, I don't think I want to hear that every single time. I think I'm able to tell when I'm switching. I'm able to tell like what current mode it's in. Or better still, I'm sure Bose could have implemented more of a chime sound, right? Kind of like what Apple does with the AirPods Pro, that lets you know, okay, like the modes have changed, right? And of course, like you're also able to tell the difference yourself. So yeah, and another con is you actually have to turn on specific ANC modes. For example, like the outdoor mode is one more I didn't even know was there until I was messing around with the app, and that was how I actually got to figure out like, oh, there's an outdoor mode that does more than the quiet mode. So just something to take note of, and something I did not like, because I used this for months without knowing there was an outdoor mode. And then the last con, in my opinion, is it stays on if you don't turn it off yourself. So this is not really a smart device, and by that, like if you leave it on without turning it off with this slider, it's just going to, of course, stays on, stays connected via Bluetooth to devices that you have nearby, and of course it's going to drain battery as well. So it would have been nice to see Bose actually had like a software feature. I'm sure they could have done this via a software update, and I'm actually not even sure if this device takes software updates, right? But yeah, that's definitely a feature that could have been added, to having it turn off when there's no media coming through for maybe like an hour or 30 minutes, because of course that would give it time for you to come back to resume your session if you might have taken a break, and then after an extended period of time it can actually turn off by itself without draining a lot of battery life. So yeah, that's it when it comes to my long-term review of the Bose QuietComfort 45 headphones. And do you have this device? Are you trying to get it? Are you thinking about getting it for like a family member, maybe for the upcoming holiday season? So I mean, whatever you do think about this device, please let us know in the comment section, and don't forget to also leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.